Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. So about a month or two ago, I did a little get ready with me with my everyday makeup routine, and it was a kind of silent get ready with me. And I saw some comments about wanting a get ready with me or a tutorial on how I do my everyday makeup. And today's get ready with me is going to be a particularly exciting one because we are doing a full face of brand new makeup. Over the month of April, I did buy quite a lot of new makeup, and most of it is luxury makeup. So it was really good to invest in some high quality and high-end makeup and, to kind of test their quality over the last few weeks. And I can safely say that this is going to be like my makeup pouch or my makeup bag. And a lot of this stuff is not necessarily used every single day, but most days where I'm wearing makeup, this is my go-to. I'm not really going anywhere other than work, but I think it is so important for me to do a little get ready with me and sort of prioritize this kind of self-care. So I've currently got these eye patches on. These are caffeine eye patches and they're from Essence. I do still use pharmaceutical or drugstore makeup. I do feel like their skincare products and drugstore stuff is still good quality, and I won't completely just leave their kind of products for luxury or high-end so easily. I really love these eye patches. They do kind of make my under eye look a little bit more bright and ready for the day. So I've had them on for about 10 or 15 minutes, so it is time to take them off, but they definitely feel very cooling on my skin, and I do recommend Essence eye patches. And then after this, I need to do a little bit of skin prep and my skincare. My under eyes already look super bright and kind of ready for whatever I'm gonna pile on my face today, but I'm not necessarily doing like a full beat. I rarely do full beat. I don't even own foundation. I still don't own foundation because I do feel that my skin does get very irritated and very like cloggy, especially when I'm wearing a lot of makeup. Even just the slightest bit of concealer that's not under my eyes can make my skin itch. I don't know whether it's like a skin reaction or like a mental thing, but I just like keeping it a little bit more simple and sticking to things that I'm good at and things that I know how to do. So starting with skincare, now that my skincare has changed, it is pretty much the same, but in the last 2 months I've been using Estee Lauder's Night Repair Serum, and this stuff has definitely changed the game for me in terms of how my skin tone looks, how refreshed my skin feels, and it definitely restored my skin barrier because I was really struggling with it over the last 2 years, and I figured out that I was using too harsh serums for my skin. So just a little bit of this has really been helping, and it is quite expensive, but definitely worth it. The nice thing about this serum is that you can use it twice a day. So I do use it in the morning and I do use it in the evenings, and it's really made the biggest difference to how my skin feels and sort of how hydrated and how bouncy it is. Next up is moisturizer. It's never changed. This is the CeraVe moisturizing lotion, and it's for dry to very dry skin. I still have very dry skin and the seasons are changing, so it is a lot worse for me right now, and sometimes I mix a little bit of vitamin E oil into my moisturizer to make sure it is moisturizing for longer. In addition to this moisturizer, I use quite a lot of ointments that are dermatologically approved for me, so it doesn't really make sense for me to buy a brand new and a very complex moisturizer because I pile on all of those ointments to keep my eczema down, and it's just really the simplest and most easy moisturizer. Last step is my sunscreen. It is a very dark and dull day, but we still gotta use a little bit of SPF, and I like to mix my SPF with glow drops. I'm still finishing these ones from Essence, and I do have the Chanel glow stick, but I'm not going to use that for my everyday because I do like to use it for fancy occasions because it's a Chanel product and it's like very quality, and I don't want to waste it per se, but I also needed to finish these. So I take the littlest bit of sunscreen and then I mix 2 or 3 glow drops in there, and it kind of gives my skin a very nice finished glowy look. I also don't use a skin tint or anything, so this does add a little bit of a brightening look, and they do have bronzing glow drops as well. But I'm happy with what my skin tone looks like at the moment. I just like to brighten it up and add a little bit of shine. Now my skin is all prepped. We look super glowy and shiny. Like I said, I don't use foundation or skin tint, so I don't really need to use primer, and I don't own a primer, so we're just gonna get into it. And the only place that my makeup really needs to stick is under my eyes. So this is where we're going to bring in my brand new makeup, and I've just put everything in this little pouch for now. It is definitely like overflowing a little, but I will get a bigger makeup bag and, you know, put my everyday makeup in here. But this is everything I wanted to show you guys that's brand new and that I'm going to use today. This little pouch here is from YSL. It was gifted to me by one of my friends, April, shout out to you. And inside is a range of mostly high-end luxury stuff that I got this month, or April, and stuff that I am really excited to use and that I've been loving. So my first step with my makeup is always to do my eyelashes, because I feel like mascara is definitely the messiest part of the process, and I like to perfect my lashes because I don't have a lash lift or lash extensions and I don't use them, so it makes sense for me to just get messy with the mascara. So that is our first two products. I go in with my normal lash curler, and today's mascara is going to be from Essence, and this is actually the Alice in Wonderland limited edition mascara. It is the same as the False Lash Effect mascara. It's that black and green one, and that's the one I use. I die on that hill, and that is my favorite mascara in the whole world. I did try the L'Oreal one, but the mascara that Essence makes is just quality, and this one was limited edition, so it was like kind of a cute new look to it. So I picked this one up, and I'm really glad to be using the Essence False Lash Effect again. So I'm just gonna like pre-curl them, I suppose, just to get them standing up. Usually I curl my lashes before and after I put mascara on. That's my little trick. So I'm going to just put one little even coat for the moment. And I don't wear eyeshadow every day. Eyeshadow I like to save for like dates and cute little special occasions, especially when I'm filming, showing you guys something. Today is kind of like a work day for me, and I do finish quite late, so I don't really want that extra makeup on my face because my skin does get quite irritated. I start having like eczema breakouts if I wear my makeup for like an extended amount of time. It's really tough out here for like dry skin or like irritated skin type girls. So I just spread one even coat on my lashes, and already it's like, look at that volume, length, everything. And I think this mascara was just made for my lashes, so I just prefer it anyway. I'm gonna do the other eye quickly. Okay, so that is round about one coat, and we're gonna let that dry before we curl it again and we put a second coat. And so while my mascara is drying, I like to go with blush first and then tidy everything up with concealer at the end. So we're gonna use two new blushes today, and one is from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and the second one is brand new and it's from Chanel. So I didn't know that Anastasia Beverly Hills makes stick blushes. I don't know why I didn't know that. Maybe I don't go and look for the stuff. I kind of just stumble across it and then see whether I like it. But it was part of like the specials they had at ARC, so I kind of saw it and they happened to have my shade, and I bought two shades. So this is kind of like a bronzy blush. It's a stick blush, so I'm going to need to use it before concealer, and it kind of looks like it's very bronzing. This is in the shade Peach Caramel. And the thing I like about these blushes is that they've got the blush on one end, and on the other end, there's a brush. Like, this is amazing for traveling, right? Because you've just got a little extra brush with you. And Chanel's lip and cheek tint, this is their Chanel number 1. De Chanel, and this one's in shade 3. I think it's Vital Beige, and it fits my skin tone very nicely, and this is perfect to use when I'm not wearing concealer or if I'm wearing like very minimal makeup like mascara and blush. And this is the perfect amount of pigment, and it's very moisturizing. It's just perfect to use. So I'm going to go in with the Chanel one first, and I'm just going to kind of like blot it on my face with my fingers, because these ones here you can blend very nicely with your fingers, and the moment your fingers touch the product, it warms it up perfectly and allows it to blend very nicely. So I'm just putting 3 dots. I don't know if that's too much pigment, but I guess we'll have to find out. And even if it is, I really like the fact that I go in with concealer after so that I can conceal this whole area and kind of mute the blush if I'm a little blush blind. I like to put a little on my nose as well. I always do this. It doesn't give you that like sick look, but it's kind of giving like winter nose. So I always do this. And that is the placement for my blush. This Vital Beige color is like a very rosy nude, so it's quite perfect for that kind of pretty flush of color. And then I'm going in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills, and I'm going to use it as more of like a bronzer or something to kind of break the blush. And I'm going to just put it, I don't really put makeup on my forehead, but I kind of do go around the contours just to give it like a little tan situation. I can put some on my nose here. It is a darker color, so it is quite nice to have to blend in. And in the meantime, while we are working on my face, I am going to use my new NYX Jelly Job. They finally came out in South Africa and I saw them at Clicks. So I picked up the shade Jelly Fold, and we're kind of going with the same rosy nude color palette. And I'm just gonna moisturize my lips for now before they get chapped. I'm not going in with a lip stain today because I don't really need to, and I like having to reapply my lip gloss of the day. It's just gonna moisturize for now, and I love these. They're so cute, and the applicator is so adorable. Like, look at that. I love it. It's beautiful. So to blend in my blush, I'm going to use this new brush I picked up, and this is from Brushworks, and it's brush number 6. It's a pretty double-ended brush that I can use for traveling, and I just thought I'd test it out today. So we're gonna do that. I'm just going to blend out the Chanel blush as well. I'm gonna blend out both and try and get a little mix. I'm gonna save the brush that's on the end of that Anastasia Beverly Hills one for when I'm actually traveling. I just wanted to test out the quality of this brush today, so here we are. And I just like to blend it all over so that it gives you that kind of structured facial look there. This Chanel blush is amazing. And this Anastasia Beverly Hills blush is perfect. It can actually double up as a bronzer. I don't really need to carve out too much with bronzer, but it does give a nice little touch. And then of course my nose. It doesn't really make too much of a difference for my nose. I just kind of like having some product on my nose. It just looks cute and it kind of breaks the color, especially when I start putting concealer around this area. And there we go. On a day where I'm not really working or I don't really feel like wearing concealer, this will be my look. This will be it, and I like that. But today I wanted to try out my new concealer, so we're gonna do that next. Before we do that, my lashes are dry now, so we can go in with a second lash curl and sort of bring my lashes up a little, and then I'm just going to do a quick second coat. This is why I love my lash routine, because it kind of just works for me, and it's the one thing that I will always do. If I have to wear like no makeup, I pick mascara as like my only makeup product, and maybe a lip gloss. So now we're gonna let that dry for a second time, and we're gonna go in with some concealer. So the brand new concealer I just picked up is from Rimmel London, and it is in the shade Toffee. This is the Multitasker Concealer or Corrector. It is a big bottle, like this is 10 ml. And I tried to shade match as perfectly as possible, and I think I went closer to my skin tone, because when I brighten up I usually let the powder do that. So this is kind of just to even out the skin tone, because I do have a little bit of natural darkness under my eyes, so I guess this is how it works. I just put a little bit on the back of my hand here, and then you let it heat up a little before taking a sponge or a brush. And I like to use a beauty blender for my blush, sometimes I use a brush, sometimes I use a beauty blender. And for my concealer, I definitely use a beauty blender because brushes can sometimes be a little harsh, especially around your under eye area. You don't want to like damage your pores or hurt anything under your eyes. I do find that I get eczema the most under there, or my skin barrier gets destroyed first there, probably because this is really the only place where I pack makeup. I like having a bold eye look rather than a bold lip or a bold cheek or whatever. My full beat. So this concealer is very good coverage wise. It evens it out very nicely. The Essence one that I used before they discontinued it, like how rude. So I could not find another bottle of it, but it's fine because I guess we kind of upgraded. And this concealer dries very quickly. That's something I've noticed with this concealer. It dries very quickly and you see the coverage. I'm not putting all that much, and maybe it's just the light from the skylight, but I think it's pretty much coverage. I don't really put concealer anywhere else because I tend to like scratch my face randomly in the day when I have an itch, and then I forget I have makeup on, and then there's like makeup on my nails. So, little pet peeve of mine. So I just tend to put it under my eyes and not touch that, hopefully. I also wear glasses, so when I wear glasses, it's more difficult for me to scratch it. Okay, so while we let the concealer sit, we're going to go in with a powder blush, and that is going to be this powder blush here. It is the Blush Crush from Essence, and these are new. This was part of my April favorites because I love the shade, and this one is in shade 150 Cinnamon Sugar. I have yet to try it out on my face with, you know, some makeup underneath, and we're gonna go for it. So I'm still gonna use this side because I like to keep the side for powder, but yeah, we're just going to use this side, and I'm gonna pick up quite a bit there. Dust off the excess. Oh my gosh. Yes, pigment, hello. Okay, I did not expect it to be this pigmented. We're going to have to use some powder to even it out, but wow. I did see the Huda Beauty Strawberry Latte collection, and I am dying to get their blush palette, but something's telling me since I just bought this one, maybe I should wait a little, and I think that's best for everyone, especially my bank account. My word, this is like perfect blush. This is my new favorite blush. I've got Yardley London ones that are very similar, but this is kind of like a combination of all of them. And this stuff is like 50 bucks. Go get it right now. And safe to say, I approve. This brush is amazing. So Brushworks number 6, I approve. It is very soft. And this part of the brush is amazing. Perfect for blending. Now my mascara is dry, and we're not going to do a third coat, but we are definitely going to curl a little bit more. So I like to go at the root and then ease my way out. Don't pull at it, otherwise you're going to pull the mascara off your eyelashes. So just go under, and then you can like work your way up. Now usually at this point, sometimes I like to go a little extra, and I'll put some eyeliner on my waterline and a little bit of glitter in the corners here, but I don't really feel like doing that today, and it wouldn't really be an honest everyday makeup if I didn't do that every day and I just decided to do it for this video. So we're going to keep it very honest, and this is pretty much everything I do for my everyday makeup. The last thing that I'm going to do is just lock in my concealer. It should be nice and warm and dry, so we're just going to put a little bit of powder on top. And for powder, we are going in with my Chanel Le Beige's setting powder. I usually use loose powder when I'm setting concealer, but that is when we're doing like full beats proper for like flash photos, and I really need that brightening under eye. Today is no special day really, so I kind of just set my under eyes with a little bit of this powder. So I'm not going to use this brush. I like to keep that one for on the go, and what I do is I keep a little finger pad brush that I use for home. I'm just gonna put some in there. And this is the translucent one, I think. So it is the lightest shade. I think this is shade 10. B10. It's the lightest shade and pretty much translucent. And it does just the right amount of brightening under eye and kind of muting some blush blindness we have going on here. I also don't have very textured skin, so I don't really need to cover up the texture. It's definitely for when my concealer starts dipping down. And this finger blender is really cute. It's also from Brushworks, and I've got like a pack of 10 of them. So they're nice to just keep around. They're easy to wash and very good for precision. So there, my under eyes are pretty much set. If I was going in with loose powder, because today isn't one of those crazy days, I would just take the tip of this brush here and I would dip it in the loose powder or the setting powder, and I would kind of just dust it off my face. I will be doing that for my birthday glam, so stay tuned. That's coming in about 2-3 weeks. And that is pretty much all of the powder that I'm gonna use. I just love this casing. It's probably one of my favorite purchases of the year. These two Chanel products, I love them. And last but not least, we're going to do a lip combo. I'm going to wipe off this NYX jelly job and we're going to start afresh. And usually this is the point in the video where I would whip out my Rimmel London brownie pie and tell you that I use it for everything. But today I decided to branch out a little. I don't like it very much, but we're gonna try it. And this lip liner we're going to use today is the Yardley London Gel Sensation Lip Liner. They're water resistant, and this one's in soft cocoa, or soft coca. I did buy this one a while ago, but my Rimmel London lip liner finished last night. So instead of opening a new one, I decided to open a different one. And this one is kind of like a red brown. So I'm hoping that it's gonna look good. Otherwise I'll just go over it with the brown one. I don't really overline my lips, I kind of just go within the natural contours. Oh, this is kind of very red. It's not too bad. It feels like it's a good combination between brown and red. Let's see if it eats. I was like 2 years old and I found out that you can use the back of your lip liner to blend it. I don't know how I feel about it, but it's okay, and I think it doesn't look terrible. But I do prefer me a true brown lip liner, always. Now for a lipstick. We've got 2 options, and I think I'm gonna use both. So in this pouch here, I have put in this Guerlain lipstick, and this is their Kiss Kiss Matte lipstick, and it is in shade 258 Lovely Nude. It was part of my April favorites. It is a perfect pinky nude, and it fits the theme we're going for today, so I love it. It is a matte finish, so that is where we will go in with the YSL Love Shine. This is in shade 205 Nude Self, and it's going to give a little bit of a moisturizing, hydrating, glossy look. I'm going to start with the Guerlain one. Look at that. Gorgeous. And I'm hoping it's going to mute the intensity of this lip liner. This has definitely turned into a bit of a more pinky lip combo. Okay. Cute. Hello Pigment. She's definitely very pinky. And so that is if you want a matte finish, but we're gonna go with a glossy finish and a little bit of a moisturizing finish. And of course throughout the day when I eat and drink and whatever, this lip combo is gonna fade. So it is always nice to top up during the day. And I guess my new top up is going to be this Chanel Lip and Cheek Tint. So I will be carrying this in my bag because it closely resembles this lip combo without having to use too many products. It's just one product, hydration, pigment, quality. And yes, I do carry a brown lip liner in my bag, so I'm not stressed. I think we are pretty much done. I'm not really doing my hair today because I washed my hair yesterday, so it's kind of like fresh after wash day. So I'm kind of just gonna leave it like this. I think we need one more lash curl for good luck. I think I've definitely mastered my everyday makeup routine, and I love that for me. If you met me last year, I didn't use 90% of the products I use now, and I definitely feel a little bit more comfortable with makeup and like in my skin with makeup. I still feel like myself, you know? And so that is my everyday makeup routine using all of my brand new makeup. I'm so happy that I got to use it and show you guys how I use it. And I'm definitely going to be keeping a lot of these products on my repurchase list. And I think we've officially gotten our color palette for this winter. But anyways, that is everything for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time.